You know, it's interesting that there have only been like 4, 5 leaders of the local 1416. And how I would know them, I find it incredible. I mean, really, because Judge, it was his first name, Judge Henderson. And I used to ask my dad, I said, are you sure his name is Judge? And he'd go, Jacqui, his name is Judge. Okay. But Dad talked about him all the time. He talked about him in terms of what he called courage and grit. And the fact that he always said that Judge would never ask them to do in terms of a demonstration or in terms of supporting someone. He'd never ask them to do anything that he wouldn't do. And I thought that, wow, that is some kind of leader. And the leader that I knew and understood the most was Cleveland Turner, because he was the leadership during the time that I was, you know, a young child in the 50s and 60s. And Mr. Turner was very savvy, you know, like according to Daddy, Judge Henderson was just like, you know, grit, we're going to get this done. And if it meant, you know, marching or walking all night or whatever, that's what we're going to do. However, Mr. Turner, Cleveland Turner, was more in terms of just diplomacy and savvy and figuring things out. From what I can, and these are the things that I most remember about Cleveland Turner. Mr. Pittman was totally different. He was quiet, but he led the Union in such a way that he could just look that way, and everyone knew this is the way we're going. He led with a team around him that were loyal, and he was the kind of leader who sought the opinion and advice of not only the inner circle, but he also talked to just the everyday guys. I remember, you know, just watching him, because of course I'm growing up, you know, in the Union. I always wanted to be a longshoreman, but you know, my dad was one of those kind of guys that was, no, this is not where you're going to be. But at any rate, I can just remember Mr. Pittman always saying, of course you can be a longshoreman. My dad going, no, you're not. He's since passed, but I wanted to tell my dad, see, I could have been a longshoreman, a young longshore person, if you know, but it's all good. My brother's a longshoreman, so I guess that's, you know, that's enough in the family. But I can just remember him and Dad talking about how Pittman would listen to and talk to the, you know, Clarence Pittman Jr. Was his real name, full name. And everybody called him Mr. Pittman, and he would walk through and talk to the members, you know, of the Union, and he led in a way that people were proud of him, you know, just proud to be a longshoreman. And then, of course, the leader that I knew as an adult, Ellis Canty. I don't know if he's a senior or junior, but it was Ellis Canty. And I can just remember talking to him, and we would just, you know, kind of think through what were the big ideas that, because he was a big idea person. He was the Union president who worked to bring about the tunnel and the clearing out of the port, you know, the water. And And now that I think about it,